Alright, so this is going to be an interesting video with really unexpected results, because if you have to pick the best budget or mid-range phone of 2023, then these three phones can easily be the top three. I'm talking about the Motorola G84, the iQOO Z7 Pro and the Infinix Zero 30 5G. Now this creates confusion because all the three phones are good phones and all of them are around the same 20,000 price point. So which phone should you consider? So to answer the question, we have been using all the three phones for quite some time now and things are very interesting. So without further delay, let's go. Also, Motorola has launched Edge 40 Neo, which in this festive sale will cost about 20,999, about the same as Moto G84. So we'll also talk about this phone at the end of the video. And to make things simple and easy for you guys, we'll be giving 1 point for each category, starting off with the look and feel of the phones. Now, I would say all the three phones have something unique. Like the iQOO Z7 Pro here has a plastic back, but it has this cool looking gradient finish on the back. It glitters when light falls on it. It looks subtle and classy. The Infinix Zero 30 here has a vegan leather finish on the back and this unique looking camera island. Both the iQOO Z7 Pro and the Infinix 30 have this curved design. The Motorola G84 on the other hand has a different approach. It is more boxy and flat in nature. The vegan leather finish on the back with IP54 rating, and it is the lightest of all the three phones at 170 gram, which is not a major feature, but it's good to have. Now, design choice is completely subjective. Some may prefer the curved phones, some may prefer flat boxy phones. I'm personally not a fan of curved displays, but again, from a look and feel perspective, I would give 1 point to each of them because all of them have a different look and feel. Moving on to the display, I would say this was a very difficult department to judge because see, all the three phones have OLED display. Moto is POLED and iQOO and Infinix are AMOLED displays, and the picture quality on all are pretty good and very similar. Like see, if I play the trailer of Fukre 3 here on YouTube, the video looks good in all the three. The color, sharpness, brightness and all are pretty much nice. That being said, Infinix Zero 30 has a few advantages. Like A, while all the phones have high refresh rate, in default auto mode, the Infinix Zero has the highest. Like, let me show you. So see here side by side, if I open YouTube, iQOO is doing 60 Hz, Motorola is doing 90 Hz, whereas the Infinix Zero 30 is at 144 Hz. Now, of course, you can force the Moto and iQOO to stay at 120 Hz all the time, but that will turn off variable refresh rate, which will cause battery drain. And B, both the Motorola G84 and iQOO Z7 Pro have compromises. Like the Motorola G84 cannot play HDR videos, so you do not get the HDR option in YouTube. And this is because of the old processor. And we'll get to that in just a moment. While the iQOO Z7 Pro can do 4K HDR video on YouTube and even Netflix, it doesn't have a stereo speaker. You get only one speaker, which is kind of a bummer at this price point. The Infinix Zero 30 5G beats both of them. It has dual stereo speakers and it can even play back 4K HDR videos on YouTube. Yes, it doesn't support on Netflix, but then you'll need a top tier Netflix subscription for that, and most of us usually don't have that. Do you have it? Let me know in the comment section. Share me your password. So yeah, from a display standpoint, I would give the 1 point to Infinix Zero 30 5G. Coming to performance, I would say all the three phones have a lag-free experience. Like if you're doing normal tasks, browsing the web, watching videos, scrolling Instagram reels and all of that good stuff, all three phones are good here. No complaints if you're doing light to medium tasks. However, when you push the phones a little, like if you play games and all that stuff, that is where Motorola G84 starts to lag. Because see, this has a Snapdragon 695 processor. By 2023 standards, that is an old CPU. I mean, it came out more than 1.5 years ago. We ran Antutu benchmark and it scored the lowest out of all the three phones. Like it was around 35% slower compared to iQOO and Infinix, which is fine. Like if you're playing games like BGMI and all of that, then only you will see the difference. Like max, it can do only 40 FPS at smooth graphics, whereas the iQOO and Infinix here can do max 60 FPS. Even if you leave BGMI, that's not the problem. But the main problem with Snapdragon 695 starts that it doesn't support 4K videos. So let me demonstrate the bigger problem. So see, if I record this 4K video from another phone and then I send it to Moto G84, see, it shows like a plain black screen, can't play the video. So if some relative or a friend sends you 4K video of a party or an event or a birthday fest, something like that, it won't play back here, and that's like a big time bummer in 2023. So I would give 1 point each to iQOO and Infinix here for performance. Gaming and performance on both of them was similar and a good experience. Okay, coming to the camera department, here are where things are quite unexpected. So you get a 108 megapixel main camera on the Infinix Zero 30 5G, a 64 megapixel camera on the iQOO Z7 Pro and a 50 megapixel camera on the Moto G84. all the three phones have OIS in the main sensor. Like at first glance, straight up, see the Moto's picture, it looks off. Like my skin tone is too yellow. Now if you zoom in, iQOO's color are good, but the picture is slightly soft. Infinix has better picture quality, it has more clarity, colors are decent too. Now in this picture, we took in portrait mode and sorry, the camera position is slightly off, but nonetheless, the story is the same. Moto's picture has very off skin tone, iQOO's picture is decent, the background blur and all, but I would say the Infinix shot came out the best. It is poppy and the background blur is on point. Not too much or too less background blur. That being said, iQOO has the biggest sensor here. So that bigger sensor and the natural background blur shows when you take up close-up photos of flowers or small subjects. And not just that, in some situations, iQOO takes the better shot in low light conditions. Like see this Lord Ganesha's photo indoors, iQOO has the better shot. And even see my picture in low light, iQOO's picture looks brighter and even the skin tone is good. Now you get a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera with Infinix 030, 8 megapixel ultra wide angle with Motorola G84 and 0 megapixel ultra wide angle with the iQOO Z7 Pro. There's no ultra wide angle camera. And yes, Infinix has the better ultra wide angle camera. Like if you see side by side against Moto, if you zoom, Moto's picture is so soft. Infinix has a good amount of details. Coming to videos, you can shoot 4K videos with Infinix and iQOO, but the Moto G84 here maxes out at 1080p because the Snapdragon 695 cannot record 4K videos. On the front camera also, the Infinix can do 4K selfie videos, whereas the iQOO and Motorola here are logged at Full HD. Also, the Infinix has 50 megapixel front selfie camera, whereas the iQOO and Moto here can only do a maximum of 16 megapixel. But in selfies, it's sort of a different picture. Like in most of the selfies, I prefer the Moto's selfie. Even this picture of Sayan, the Moto selfie look better. So yeah, for the cameras, I would give 1.2 iQOO and 1.2 Infinix because in main camera it's just 19-20 difference, but Infinix can definitely do 4K videos on the front as well as the rear camera, so that's a plus. Moving on to software, well, all the three phones come with Android 13 right out of the box, but you will have a different experience with all three of them because all three have their own skin. Infinix has XOS, iQOO has FunTouchOS, Motorola has MyUX. Out of all the three, I would go with Motorola's MyUX because it is very close to stock Android. There are no ads or bloatware or anything. Plus you get added features like Moto Secure, PinPad Scrambler, Family Space, Ready for PC. All of that, it's there. We have already done a dedicated video for MyUX. If you want, you can go check that out here. Infinix XOS will be second. It's not as polished as Motorola's and you do get a few first-party apps that you cannot uninstall. Like there is the Palm Store, X Arena, X Theme and all of that. But even then, there are no third-party bloatware apps like those Snapchat, Moj, all of that. And there are no ads either. iQOO's FunTouchOS has improved over time, but there is still that room for improvement. Like for starters, it is filled with so many bloatware. You have Candy Crush, Snapchat, Royal Match, just to name a few. Plus you get hot apps and hot games. This kind of affects the software experience of the phone. Now, of course, you can disable it, uninstall it. That can be done, but I'm talking about what you get default with all the three phones. So for the software side of things, I would say Motorola is the clear winner. Other than those, all the three phones have some extra features. The Moto G84 has a hybrid SIM card slot, meaning you get two SIM or one SIM and one micro SD card. iQOO Z7 Pro has 2 years of Android updates. Moto and Infinix has only 1 year. And the haptics of Infinix 035G is pretty good, like better than the other two. Also, battery performance of all the three phones are normal. Like Moto and Infinix has 5000 mAh battery and iQOO has 4600 mAh battery, but in casual normal usage, all phones should last you about 1 day. Plus you get the charger and a back cover with all the three phones inside the box. Really environment friendly. So at the end, what is the conclusion? Well, surprisingly, I wouldn't have guessed Infinix would be the winner here, but it is what it is. So to answer the question, which is the best phone amongst the three? Now, of course, Infinix has the highest score here. However, we are a bit hesitant recommending this because frankly, we haven't used any Infinix phone in the past for a longer time. So we don't know how the after-sales service or the service center situation is or how the update situation will be. So if you're a long-term Infinix user, please tell us your experience in the comment section and we may give you a shout out. And if you aren't bothered that much about bloatware and ads, iQOO Z7 Pro at 23,999 is a good option. Just make sure you know there is bloatware and ads. Now Motorola G84 was an option, but Moto itself has launched the Moto Edge 40 Neo, which you can get about as the same price as the G84. So I would recommend getting this because it has a 144Hz curved display. You get better performance with Snapdragon 730 and major thing, you can record, shoot and play 4K videos on this phone. So the H40 Neo is a better option. So on that note, this is Prateek signing off. See you in the next video. Pew, pew, pew.